Welcome back to the channel, ladies. Today we're diving into a question I know keeps many of you up at night. How do you get him to commit without nagging? This isn't just another fluffy advice video. We're going deep into the psychology of men, the traps women fall into, and the strategies that actually work in today's chaotic world. If you've ever felt stuck, pleading for more from a man who seems perpetually on the fence, this is for you. We're going to challenge some assumptions, provoke some thought, and arm you with tools to shift the dynamic. So, grab a coffee, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let's get started. First, let's define what we're even talking about. Commitment. What is it? 50 years ago, it was straightforward. A ring, a mortgage, kids, the whole deal. But today, it's a kaleidoscope. For some, it's exclusivity. For others, it's emotional investment or a shared Google Calendar 6 months out. And for men, commitment carries a weight that's evolved with the times. See, we live in an age of radical individualism. Men today, especially in their 20s and 30s, are juggling career pressures, a culture that glorifies freedom, and a dating landscape where options feel infinite. Tinder's a swipe away, and society's telling them they don't need to settle down. Marriage rates are dropping, down 60% since 1970 according to the Pew Research Center, and cohabitation's on the rise. So when you ask a man to commit, you're not just asking for his heart, you're asking him to swim against a cultural current. But here's the kicker. Men still crave meaning. They want connection, stability, a legacy. The reluctance isn't about you, it's about what commitment represents. Freedom lost, responsibility gained. Understanding this is step one. You can't force a man into your vision of commitment if you don't first grasp his. Now, let's talk about nagging, because if you're watching this, odds are you've tried it. You've hinted, you've prodded, maybe you've even outright demanded. Where is this going? And what's the result? He pulls back. He gets quiet. The distance grows. Why? Nagging doesn't work because it's pressure dressed up as concern. Psychologically, it triggers something called reactance. When someone feels their autonomy is threatened, they resist. Hard. Studies in behavioral psychology, like those from Jack Brame in the 60s, show this. Push a man to commit, and his instinct is to retreat, not advance. Nagging says, you're not enough as you are, and no one, man or woman, responds well to that. Think about it. Imagine you're at work, and your boss hounds you daily about a project. Does it make you want to excel, or do you start dreaming about quitting? Same principle. Nagging breeds resentment, not commitment. And worse, it signals insecurity. A man can smell desperation a mile away, and it's a turnoff. If you want him to step up, you've got to ditch the script that's been failing you. So what does drive a man to commit? Let's get under the hood of the male psyche. Evolutionary biology gives us a starting point. Historically, men were wired to spread their genes. Think hunters, warriors, multiple partners. It's the caveman argument you've heard before. But that's only half the story. Men also evolved to protect, to build, to bond. Pair bonding isn't just a female instinct, it's human. Fast forward to 2025, that ancient drive meets a modern reality. Men want purpose, not just play. A 2021 study from the American Psychological Association found men in committed relationships report higher life satisfaction than their single counterparts, once they're in it. But getting there? That's where the friction lies. Today's man is shaped by more than biology. He's shaped by his father's divorce, his buddy's custody battle, the Instagram reel of some influencer flexing a bachelor life. Commitment to him might look like a trap, or it might look like a prize. What tips the scale? Value. He commits when he sees you as a partner who elevates his life, not a chain that binds it. Past wounds matter too. A guy raised in a stable home might lean toward commitment naturally. One burned by betrayal might hesitate. You're not just dating him, you're dating his history. Let's move beyond theory and into action. You want a man to commit without nagging, pleading, or playing games. Here are 5 strategies that deliver results. These aren't manipulative ploys. They're principles rooted in psychology and the gritty realities of relationships. Applied with intention, they create an environment where commitment becomes his choice, not your demand. 1. Build a foundation of trust, the bedrock of commitment. Commitment doesn't survive without trust. It's not just about keeping your word. It's about proving you're a safe harbor in a chaotic world. Men need to know you're steady, someone who won't bolt when life gets messy or tally every favor like a scorekeeper. Trust is quiet, unglamorous, and absolutely essential. Why it matters. Emotional safety unlocks vulnerability. When he trusts you, won't abandon or judge him, he's free to invest deeply. Consistency signals reliability, which is the first step toward him seeing you as a long-term partner. How to do it? Be deliberate. If you say you'll call at 8 p.m., don't text at 9. If he's navigating a crisis, say a job loss, show up with a listening ear, not a lecture. Small, repeated acts of dependability compound into unshakable trust. The payoff. He stops wondering if you're temporary. Trust becomes the foundation that makes everything else possible. 2. Respect him as an equal. Partnership over patronizing. Men don't commit to someone who treats them like a fixer-upper, or worse, a child. Respect is the oxygen that fuels mutual admiration. It's not about stroking his ego. It's about recognizing his worth as a partner, not a project to mold into your ideal. Why it matters. When you value his thoughts and autonomy, even in disagreement, he feels seen. Respect builds a dynamic where he's proud to stand beside you, not resentful of being controlled. It's the difference between a teammate and a taskmaster. How to do it. Shift your lens. Instead of correcting his opinion on, say, a financial choice, ask, what's your reasoning there? Acknowledge his strengths. Tell him, I admire how you handled that. Respect isn't blind agreement. It's honoring his right to be himself. The payoff. He starts envisioning you as a lifelong ally, not a critic. Respect makes commitment feel like a privilege, not a chore. 3. Master open communication. Clarity trumps confusion. Hinting is a relationship killer. If you're tiptoeing around your desires, you're setting yourself up for frustration and him for confusion. Open communication means stating what you want with calm confidence, creating space for real dialogue, not guesswork. Why it matters. Men often thrive on directness. Clear words cut through emotional noise, reducing tension and fostering trust. When you articulate your vision, like wanting exclusivity, you invite him to meet you there without feeling trapped. How to do it? Ditch the subtext. Say, I'm loving where we are, and I'm ready to take things to a more serious level. How do you feel about that? It's not an ultimatum, it's an invitation. Keep your tone steady, not accusatory. The payoff. He knows exactly where you stand, and he's free to respond honestly. Clarity paves the way for commitment without the baggage of miscommunication. 4. Show your independence. Confidence is irresistible. Neediness pushes men away. Independence pulls them in. When you're a whole person, complete with your own passions, friends, and ambitions, you're not begging for his commitment. You're offering him a partnership worth choosing. Why it matters. A self-sufficient woman is magnetic. She's not clinging out of desperation. She's with him because he enhances her already full life. This flips the script. Commitment becomes his gain, not your lifeline. How to do it. Build your world. Take that pottery class, plan a girls' night, chase a career goal. When he asks about your day, have a story that doesn't hinge on him. Show him you're thriving, not just surviving. The payoff. He's drawn to your strength. Independence makes him want to commit, not out of obligation, but because you're a rare find. The 5. Set the stage, not the script. Guide without forcing. You can't dictate his commitment timeline, but you can shape the narrative. Be upfront about your desire for a serious future, then step back. Let him decide how to step forward. This is about influence, not control. Why it matters. Men value agency. When you plant the idea, I'm looking for someone who's all in, and give him room to process, he's more likely to commit willingly. Forcing his hand breeds resentment. Guiding him builds ownership. How to do it. Share your vision casually but firmly. Try, I see myself with someone fully committed down the line. What's your take? Then listen. Don't push for an instant answer. Let it simmer. The payoff. He steps into commitment on his terms, which makes it stick. Patience here turns your clarity into his decision. Let's paint a picture. Meet Lisa and Mark. They've been dating 18 months. Lisa's ready to move in. Mark's dragging his feet. Old Lisa would have nagged. Why won't you decide? New Lisa tries this. She cooks dinner one night and says, Mark, I've been thinking about us living together. I see it as a step forward, but I want to hear where you're at. Mark admits he's worried about losing his space. They talk it out, no pressure, just honesty. 2 months later, he's the one suggesting they tour apartments, Or take Jenna and Alex. Jenna stopped texting Alex 24/7, started hitting the gym, and booked a solo trip. Alex noticed. Suddenly he's planning dates, asking about her weekend. Why? Her independence reminded him she's a catch, not a Klingon. These aren't fairy tales, they're dynamics at play. Let's hit some questions. I know you're typing in the comments. What if he still won't commit? If you've built trust, communicated clearly, and he's still stalling, face reality. He might not be ready, or he might not be the one. Don't waste years on a maybe. You deserve reciprocity. How do I tell if he's just not ready or never will be? Patterns don't lie. Does he dodge every future talk? That's a red flag. Does he engage but hesitate? He might need time. Ask him straight. Where do you see us in a year? His answer or silence tells you everything. Can I change his mind? You can't make him commit. You can only create the conditions, trust, respect, value where he wants to. If he's dead set against it, no strategy overrides free will. Know when to walk. Here's the bottom line. Getting a man to commit without nagging isn't about manipulation. It's about understanding. His mind, your power, the dance between you. Nagging fails because it's force. Commitment grows from choice. Build a relationship where he chooses you, not because you begged, but because he sees what's at stake if he doesn't. This isn't easy. It takes discipline, self-awareness, and a willingness to let go of what doesn't serve you. But that's why you're here, because you're ready to do the work. If this hit home, smash that like button, share it with a friend, and drop your thoughts below. I read every comment. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strong, and keep building the life you deserve.